Anyone wants to ask anything? Anyone has any doubts? Okay. So we are seeing here the largest number from array we are going to find. This is the searching algorithm, you can say. Okay, so first of all, we are creating one array with, I am creating the array with the size, maximum size of 10. So in the square bracket, I am assigning 10 as the value. Then we are going to take input from the user to store the data into this array. So we will use here scanner class, scanner reference equal to new scanner, system.in, import the scanner class, that is java.util.scanner. Use, we'll first close this at the end of the program. Use the scanner class to read the input. So we are going to take the number of values we want to store into this array. I have given the maximum size 10. It is not compulsory कि जितना size दिया है उतने elements आप store करोगे, उतने elements आपको input लेने हैं. No, it is not necessary. So first of all, we will ask user system.out.println, enter how many numbers you want to store in array. Okay, so we are asking user only how much or how many numbers the user want to store. We will read that into one variable, that is integer n, sc.next int, and then we will read actual values for this array from the user. So how many numbers? Till n. Okay, so we will use for loop to read the values, iterate over the array. For integer I, instead of array.length, here we are going to use n variable. And we will ask user system.out.println, enter value for array, or enter value only. Okay. And we are going to store this data into array arr at index I. Okay, so here, and we will use the scanner next int method to read the data from the user and store it into array at the ith index. So this is for user input part. Okay, now we want to find out the largest number from this particular array. Okay, once the array is created, you can display that array if you want to display system.out.println array elements. You can display the array elements. So to display the array elements, we can use for each loop. Or you can use normal for loop also. Okay, so system.out.println system.out.println I variable I am displaying here, so that all the values from this array elements will get displayed. After this, actual searching process we are going to start. System.out.println I am adding line just for understanding purpose. Okay. So we want to find out largest number or highest number, greatest number from these array elements. Okay, so how to find out? So first of all, we want to consider that the value present at 0th index will be the largest one, and then we will perform the comparison operation on all other elements. Okay, so first of all, we will use one variable integer max, or you can use large वगैरह, जो भी आपको नेम देना है आप यूज कर सकते हो. आई एम गिविंग मैक्स एज द नेम, वेरिएबल नेम, एंड आई एम स्टोरिंग array of 0th index value in this particular variable. Okay, So we are considering that this maximum, we are considering that the zeroth index value is nothing but the maximum of all the values. Now we will perform actual comparison operation. So we can check whether, so this is again, we have to iterate over the array to check all the members of your arrays. Okay. So therefore we want to again use the for loop to iterate over the array. Here again, instead of array.length, we are storing the values based on n. So it's you can use n variable here also. And after taking n, if you want to add more validation, you can check here also. That is, if n should be less than the array length, arr.length. That operation, that validation also you can add. That means you cannot add more values than 10. Okay, because अगर आप 10 से ज़्यादा add करने चाहोगे, तो it will throw the exception. That's why you can add this validation also before adding values. So here in this for loop, we will first add the comparison part. So we will iterate over this array of I. So here we have already stored the zeroth index. Okay, and we don't want to compare the zeroth index also. So you can change the index from 1. So here we will check the first index value, that is array of I. Currently I value is 1. So first index value is greater than max variable. Then we will only change the value for this max variable with array of I. Okay, that is, we are saying that if this value present at this particular index, the ith index, is greater than this max variable value, then we are changing the max variable value with that index value so that new max value will be generated. And we can, by checking this, we can able to find out the largest value from the array. So after the for loop, we will display largest value from array is equals to, you can simply use the max variable here because we are storing the maximum value in this max variable. Okay, we will execute this program. So I want to enter only 5 elements. We are entering the 5 elements. Okay, this array elements, as we have used for each loop, that is why it is displaying all the values. That is, the size of the array is 10. All these are 0. Okay, now here you can check. After the array elements, we are getting the largest value from the array is 84. Okay, so we are comparing, we are basically storing the 41 value into the max variable. After that, we are checking from 36 is greater than 41, false. In the next iteration, it will check 84 is greater than 36. Sorry, 41, false. 84 is greater than 41 is true. So after condition is true, if statement gets executed, changing the max value with 84. Then in the next iteration, it will check 62 is greater than 84. It again false. 55 is greater than 84. It will again false. And after that, we are ending our loop because we are checking our loop till n value itself. Okay. So we are getting this largest value from the array. This is nothing but the searching algorithm for array. We are using the searching algorithm for array, finding the largest element. Similarly, you can find out the odd number, even number from this array or smallest number. Okay. Similar thing will be there. Even number, odd number, then smallest number or any other divisible by any number, divisible by 5, etc. Okay. So such type of programs you can do with the on this array in this way. Just you need to change the actual implementation part, okay, as per your condition checking, okay, or whatever the statement you are using. For that, you just need to change the part, the condition. Okay, so this is the searching algorithms, and these are searching techniques we are using on the array manipulation searching part. Similarly, we will see the next is sorting, how to sort the array also. Anyone has any doubt in this? If you have any doubt, let me know. Okay. There are other searching and sorting algorithms also. Okay. But those are related to data structures. Here we are seeing only the sorting of array, searching in the array. Okay. The sorting algorithms like bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sorts are there, merge sorts are there. Those are based on different data structures. We use those sorting techniques. But here we are simple technique for sorting an array we are seeing here. So we'll create new class. Sorting array, include the main method. So in the similar manner, we will create one array and store the element. Same part I'm going to use. That's why I'm copying from here. Okay. Everything is same. So we have used scanner, reference, one array with the 10 as the maximum size. We are taking input from the user. We are displaying the array elements. All the things are same. Here only we are going to change is the actual part of sorting. So we are going to use sorting in ascending order. Okay, so we will sort the element in ascending order. Again, we will use one variable to sort this particular element, because why we need to check all the elements, because we need to swap the elements and arrange it as the ascending order. Okay, so that is why we will use the for loop. We will not use this. We will directly use for loop. Instead of array.length, I'm going to use n variable. Inside this, we will use again another for loop, which will have the next index value, that is I plus 1, which will have the next index value. Here I am changing again, j should be less than n. Okay, or you can use array.length also. Now we will check if this array of I is greater than array of j. Here we will use one temporary variable to swap the elements. Okay, so we will use integer temp is equals to, we will hold this array of I value here. So basically we are storing array of ith index पे जो भी value है, we are storing into temp variable, and we are storing value present at jth index in the ith index. So we are swapping the values basically, and again at the jth index we are copying the temporary variable value, so that we are swapping the values, we are ascending it based on the condition greater than. Okay, so now after this your array will be in the sorted form. So this is the only thing you need to do while sorting the array into ascending order. Okay, after completion of this for loop, you can display the elements of the array in a similar way, which will be in the sorted format. We'll execute this program. I will use again 5. So you can see this is your sorted array 7, 18, 23, 64, and 94. And this is your actual array 7, 64, 94, 23, and 18. Okay, so this is your ascending order sorted array. If you want to convert it into descending order, you just need to change the condition part. Okay, so it will be arranged in descending order. Okay, this is the basic sorting algorithm for the array. Clear? Any doubt? Okay. If you want to copy the elements from one array to another, we can do that with the help of array copy. So here we will create. Now I will define, suppose string array. You can define the array in this way also, with data type as a square bracket. We can add the square brackets with the data type S, and then new string, or instead of creating this, I will assign the values directly. So I will add some values here. Okay, so I have added 5 values, and we will be using this. All the values from this array should be copied into another array. So suppose that array is string S1. You can directly assign this S also. So this will be copying of the data. It will copy all the data from S, will be stored into the S1. Okay, so it will not actual copy. It will directly uses the references and the 0th reference. The value stored at the 0th reference will be stored here into this S1. Okay, so you can check after system.out.println कॉपी करने के बाद so to iterate over this, you can use iterate over array s1.length system.out.println and s1 of ith index, so that you will get all the values from s1 array in the same manner. Okay, clear? So in a similar way, you can perform other operations also. There are multiple operations on array that I will give you as an assignment to you, and you have to complete it by using your own logic. Okay. Now we are going to see the next topic, that is enum. Enum is nothing but user defined data type. So enums, when we use enums are basically used when you know all the possible values. For example, a menu, then deck of cards. There are only 4 types of cards. There are only 7 days in a week. There are only 12 months in a year. Okay, such type of possible values you know at the compile time itself. That time we use enums. Okay, so enum is nothing but the user defined data type. We use enums to store the data, which the values will be, all possible values should be known to the programmer at a compile time itself. Okay. We can declare enums inside or outside of the class, but we cannot declare it inside a method. Okay. Enums are same as the classes. We can create variables, methods, constructors in enum. Then enums have constants are stored inside the enums, and those constants are always static final constants. Okay, final static constants. The values will never change for those. The values are fixed. Enums are mostly we don't need to create the object of this enum, but we can access the values directly from this enum. Okay. Then we will directly see the program, how to use the enum, how to create the enum. New class. Enum is also known as enumeration. I'm including the main method as well. So in this class, we will be creating 2 enums. Okay. The first enum I will show you outside of the class, and second enum inside of the class. So enum will be created with the help of enum keyword. Then the name of the enum, same as the class name, you can specify any name to that particular enum. I am specifying day. So we know that there are only 7 days. So I'm creating all those values here inside this enum. Whenever you are creating or specifying the values, those should be in the uppercase letters, okay, as a constant. So we are starting with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, so I know all these are, apart from these 7 values, we'll never get any new value. That's why we know all these values will be there at the compile time itself. That's why we are specifying enum. We can add, these are nothing but the variables. You can add methods. You can add constructors. Even you can create a main method inside this. Without a class, you can execute it. If you are writing main method, then you can execute it without class. Okay. You don't want to create any object, not need to create any object. Okay. Then now we have created this, the enum outside of the class. Now, if you want to create an enum inside of the class, how will you create? It is again nothing but a data type, right? So we can create the enum inside of the class also. So here I'm specifying enum, the name of that enum. We will assign some here I will use deck, that is cards. Okay, you can give cards also. There are only 4 types of cards, so we can add those. Those should be again into the uppercase letters. Those are hearts, spade, diamond, and last one is clover. Or I think there is another name for that. I will use the thing. So this is nothing but the enum we are declaring inside of the class. Now, how to use these enum values, how to iterate over it, how to change the values, etc. that we will see here. So first of all, I'm going to create one reference for this day. Inside the class, I'm creating day as a reference of the type day. Okay. Day, or I will change it to today. Today as a reference of type enum day. ठीक है. तो डे इनम का हमने एक वेरिएबल क्रिएट किया है, रेफरेंस वेरिएबल, यू कैन से दैट, एंड we are going to use this for our next part. So the next part is nothing but here you can pass now you don't know the constructor part, but here I am creating the constructor and I am passing this day reference to this particular constructor. We are going to see what is constructor and all. Only for this example, you can remember this part. Okay, so this is nothing but a constructor. I am passing this variable value here, and I am assigning whatever the value we are getting here as a parameter, we are assigning it to this particular variable. Okay, now we will pass this particular day value to the switch case. So we can pass the values of the enum to the switch cases. Okay, so switch case को कैसे pass करना है, that we are going to create one method. Public static. This method will also not return anything. So I am creating void method. Tell. I am creating one method as a tell. So in this method, we will be passing switch. So this is nothing but the instance method. Okay. We'll create one switch case. We will pass the day variable today, that is today value here to the enum. How to pass enum values to the switch case, that I am showing you. So for case, suppose the case is Monday. The value should be same as this. Case Monday. You can simply display something, system.out.println, or you can perform anything, whatever you want. Okay. Today is Monday. What a beautiful. Same as the cases, you need to use break statement. Then case, I'm skipping between some cases. You can add other also. I'm adding only 2 to 3 cases here. For case Thursday, same. I'm going to display this. Today is Thursday. And at the end, we need to add bracket and break statement. Similarly, case Sunday. system.out.println. Today is Sunday. Sunday is a holiday. After this also I am adding break. Okay, so I have created 3 cases here. If you want to add default case also you can add. Now we will, in the main method we will create the object of this class, enumeration example is equals to new enumeration example. We will pass some reference of the enum today. Okay, so whenever you want to pass the values, you have to use, these are the static final variables. So basically they are created like this internally. Those are public integer, public final static integer Sunday. Okay, in this way those are created. Okay, those are final static variables. We cannot change the value assigned to it. Okay, always the integral values are stored. So here, whenever you want to access it, as those are static, you have to use the name of that particular enum, and then you can select this value. So I'm using Thursday here. Okay, whenever you want to select, you can check here the S and F are shown here. That is nothing but the static final variables. Those are constant values, okay, which are possible values. Okay, so we are passing here Monday, Thursday. Then we will call the method ex dot. The method is tell. Okay, so now these are the values we are passing and we are displaying. So this, when you call the method, the appropriate case will be this day.Thursday will be stored here into the today variable, and this today is passing to this particular switch case, default case, system.out.println, end of week. So this today value will be passed and case will be matched according to the value passed here, and appropriate case will get executed. So you can see we are passed here Thursday, day.Thursday. So today is Thursday. What a beautiful day. We are getting the output which we have stored here into cases. Case Thursday. Okay, so we can pass the enum values to the switch cases. Pass enum values to switch case. In this way. Okay. Similarly, if you want to retrieve all the values of the enum, then we can iterate over that particular enum and retrieve the values. How to do that? So here I will use the enum deck, which is into the class. So we will use for each loop for doing this. Okay, instead of args, I'm going to use deck name of the enum dot values is the method which returns the array of enum type. Okay, so you can check here. If we open this, this is a deck. It has 4 values. Okay, and this method is returning deck D, every element from this deck enum. Okay, now you can perform anything after selecting any particular value. If you want to go for the switch cases, you can check here also. If you want to perform any other operations, you can do that also. So I am going to simply display one statement here. System.out.println selected day is D. Okay, so I am appending this D variable here, which has the every value in each and every iteration from the deck enum. Okay, so this is nothing but the example of enumeration. Okay, if you want to add any main method inside the enum, that also you can do. Like here, suppose you want to add any new main method, same as the classes, public static void main string args system.out.println main method inside enum. Okay, you can do this, but so you can execute this also, but for that you cannot have in one file, you cannot create two main methods, right? So for that you need to store this enum in another separate Java file, and then you can execute it. So what we will do, we will see that example in another file also. I will copy the same. We'll create another example. Okay, you can create enum from here also. So we can use that. I will change to the color as the name. So this is the public enum color. I am adding the values like red, blue, and green. Okay, only 3 values. Here I am creating main method and displaying system.out.println. Colors are, here you can access in this way also. Color dot blue plus color dot green this C should be okay. So now you can execute this same as the normal class. These enums also can have the main method. These are variables. You can create methods also. Like suppose here I am creating void display is the method. System.out.println. Display called. To call this method, you can use this color C and C dot the method that is display. Okay, but you don't need to create the object of this. Okay, you don't need to use this new object basically. Indirectly. Yes. We'll convert it into static. So this method is a static method so that we can call the method directly without creation of the object. You can directly use this. Okay. You can have constructor also, like color constructor. System.out.println constructor called. We'll change it to public. So enum constructor will be with the default. You cannot create the constructor with the public access specifier. Color C is equals to okay, it is not calling this constructor. Color dot blue. Okay, so this color dot blue, and you can call C dot display method. So here this constructor gets called automatically. That is why we don't need to call it externally. Okay, so these are gets called automatically by the compiler itself. Here you can simply use this code for creating. Okay, the display method is a static method. That's why it is showing yellow line. You can access it with the help of name. So display called, constructor called for each and every color values. Constructor gets called, and this display method we have called 2 times. Okay. For this C, we have not specified anything, but for that value again, the constructor gets called. Okay. This constructor gets called internally whenever you are specifying any value, we are accessing any value that time. Okay. And we have seen here the values method also to iterate over any enum values, you can use the values method. So this is all about enum data type. If you have any doubt, you can ask. So you need to remember few points for this enum. Those are nothing but enum improves the type safety. We as a programmer knows what values we are going to store into the enum, because the enums are created only for the possible constant values, okay, that are possible values. Enum can be easily used in switch, as I already explained that. We have seen one example also. Enums can be traversed. We can traverse the enums with the help of values method, or you can access it directly with the help of the constant also. Enum can have fields, constructors, and methods. We have seen all these things. Okay, fields, nothing but the static final fields. Constructors we have created, methods in that main method is also we have seen. Enum may implement many interfaces also. Okay, so interfaces, when we are going to learn next points as a interfaces later. Okay, that time you will understand. So enum may implement the interfaces, but it cannot extend any class, because internally it extends enum class. So that is predefined class in Java, enum class. And whenever you are using this enum as a data type, enum as a keyword, it always uses enum class. It is always extending this enum class. So this class is present in the java.lang package, and it is nothing but the enumeration. Enum is short form for enumeration. So this is the type, enum type subclass. Okay. So it always extends enum class. Whenever you are using this enum keyword, it always uses enum class for all the purpose. Okay. So it has name. This is also final build. Constructor, methods, all these things. Okay. So this is nothing but the enum internally extends the enum classes. That is why it cannot extend any other class, but it can implement many interfaces. Okay. This is all about enums, user-defined data type enum. Any doubt till here? Anyone has any doubt? Clear? Yes, enum can have main method fields. We have seen that example here. We have created this color enum. We have created one static method. This is nothing but a constructor. This is main method. You can directly execute this enum. This is the executable enum. Instead of class, you can directly use enum also. But when to use enum? When you have the possible values, should be fixed values, should be constant values. Okay. So constructors, these are fields. These fields are always final static, as I explained here. These fields are always final static members. Okay, constants, we say those constants, and these constants should always be written into the upper cases. Yes, class and enums are similar, but in class there is no you can say in classes you can add any number of values, any number of fields, any number of methods, members, constructors. But in enums, we create enums only for the possible values. You know the number of you know the values we are expecting. Okay. When there are a set of values which are fixed, that time only we go for the enums. Otherwise, we go for the class. If the values are not fixed, then you can go for classes. If the values are fixed, then you can go for enums. Okay. So here we know that main only three colors are there: red, blue, and green. Others are combination of it. Yes, you can say that. Yes. So where the values are fixed, like day has only week has only 7 days, year has only 12 months, sorry. Then the cards deck only has 4 types of cards. Such type of data, if you want to store, then you can go for the enums. And it is not compulsory to add these things. You can simply write down the enum with the possible values also, like this. And you can use that for switch cases, for any other purposes. You can iterate over it in the similar manner. You can use those values. Okay. So where the values are fixed, any point of time. Okay. So suppose there are interest rates. So consider that bank interest rates are fixed. For senior citizen, it is 7%. For other people, it is 6%. So they have the values which are fixed. So they can use for senior citizens, for other people, they can directly use enums, right? Because the values are fixed. So they can directly use these values. Understood? So where the values are fixed, you can use enum. It has restrictions also using the enum, because as we have seen here, we cannot create the constructor which are public constructors. The constructor can be private or default. So you cannot access this public enum outside of this particular class, or you cannot call this constructor, okay, from other packages. So that will again, accessibility problem will be there. Okay, clear? Any more doubts? Yes, inheritance is not possible. That as I explained, that this class, enum cannot extend any other class, because internally it is extending enum class itself, which is predefined class in java.lang package. It is internally extending this class, but this enum can implement any n number of interfaces. Clear? Okay, so with this, our fifth module is completed with arrays and enums. If you have any doubts in previous topics, please go through the assignment parts also, and theory. I have already shared the notes in the group. So go through that, check the details. If you have any doubt, just get it clear. And with this, our fifth module is completed. That is nothing but your array and enumeration with the two types of arrays, single dimensional and multi-dimensional with two-dimensional array. In the user-defined data types, we have seen enumeration, that is enum data type. Okay. And next we are going to see the classes. It is nothing but the user-defined data type. But in detail, we are going to see in the next module. That is, classes will be in the next module. So next module is module 6, classes and objects. Everything related to the classes and objects, how to, what are the fields, constructors, what is methods, and all those things related to the classes and objects that we are going to see in the next session. So if you have any doubts in previous topics, you can ask now or later also. You can note it down and you can ask later also. Anything you want to ask? Anyone? Yes, all are reference types. Structures, enums, and classes. Structures are not there in the Java. Those are in C. I think in C# also. Enums are there. Classes are there in Java. All are reference types. So we say it as a user-defined data types. Nothing but the reference types, because we have to create the references of it. Okay. Okay, then we will end our session for today, and we will continue in the next session with the next module. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Jyoti.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, you may end.
Can we end the session, ma'am?
Yes, you can end.
Okay. Thank you.